Have you ever looked around your house and seen everything that needs to be done? The laundry, the dishes, the mess, the never-ending list. And instead of feeling motivated, you just feel stuck. Like your body is there, but your energy is gone. And the only thing running through your head is, I can't do this. If that's you today, this episode is for you. Welcome to Conquer Mom Stress, the podcast that helps you stress less and enjoy motherhood more. If you've ever crawled into bed at night, completely exhausted, but still feel like there's so much left to do, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Jill Gokul, and I believe that motherhood is meant to feel joyful, not exhausting. Today, we'll uncover what's really fueling your stress and give you the practical tools to conquer it so you can finally feel like the confident mom you were made to be. Also, if you have a specific question or issue you're stressing about, head over to jillgokul.com/ask to submit your question. And who knows, you might just be featured in an upcoming episode so you can get practical, real-world solutions to the exact challenges you're facing. Saturdays are my days I struggle the most with motivation. I wake up early like normal, but sit down to read and enjoy my hot tea in peace and quiet before the kids wake up. I love this time and see it as self-care, but once the kids wake up and the day starts, I just cannot get myself moving. My husband usually asks what's wrong with me, and I wander around the house aimlessly, unmotivated, and a bit on edge. It's like I started my day turned off and can't, for the life of me, figure out how to turn it back on. Self-care is important, but it wasn't meant to last all day. I wanted to indulge in the early morning light, but still wanted to be productive when the time was over. But no matter how hard I tried, I just stood there, not doing anything because I simply couldn't make myself move. Meanwhile, my kids were asking me to play, and I was thinking, I don't even have the energy to exist right now. That's when I realized that I had a built-in secret sauce into my weekdays that was missing on the weekends. One habit that made the difference between laying around all day and being productive, playing with my kids, while fitting in moments of rest in my day. Here's the truth most moms don't realize. Those days where you have no motivation isn't laziness, and it isn't a sign that you're failing as a mom. This is what happens when your brain is too cluttered to figure out how to get started. Your brain and body aren't refusing to work. They're trying to protect you from doing more when you already feel overwhelmed. So instead of taking action, you freeze, and everything starts piling up, which makes you feel even more defeated and overwhelmed. Here's what's actually happening. When you're overwhelmed, your brain doesn't see your to-do list as individual tasks. It groups everything together into one giant, impossible mountain. So instead of thinking, I'll do the dishes, I'll start laundry, you think, I have to do everything. And because that feels impossible, your brain goes, nope. So you shut down and do nothing. And the longer you stay stuck, the harder it feels to start. Your brain is designed to protect you from overwhelm. So when it sees too much at once, it chooses the safest option. Shut down. That's why you feel frozen, you avoid starting, you scroll your phone instead, you sit and think about everything but don't actually move. It's not a motivation issue, it's an overload issue. When this becomes your daily pattern or weekly pattern, you feel constantly behind. You carry guilt all day, your energy drops even more, and you start believing, I can't keep up. And that belief becomes heavy. The real problem is your kids don't see your to-do list, they see you. And when you're stuck in overwhelm, it's harder to be present. You feel more irritable, you're mentally checked out. Not because you don't love them, but because your brain is overloaded. I know you don't just want a clean house. You want peace, energy, connection, joy in motherhood. But when you're stuck, you can't access those things because everything feels heavy. So if the problem isn't motivation, what actually works? Here's what's cool. Your brain responds incredibly well to small wins. There's a built-in reward system in your brain that lights up when you complete something, even if it's something tiny. And that's where everything starts to shift. Listen, mama, here's the secret to having motivation. Motivation doesn't come first. Momentum does. There's a simple principle you've probably heard before. A body in motion stays in motion. But here's what we don't talk about enough. A body at rest stays at rest. Right now, you're not broken. You're just stuck in stillness. And the way out isn't by forcing yourself to do everything. It's by gently starting something. Not using motivation, but by forcing yourself into one small action. Because when you complete one small task, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. You feel a sense of accomplishment. Your energy slightly increases, and suddenly the next thing feels more doable. That's momentum. And momentum builds motivation, not the other way around. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10 says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." God is not asking you to do everything. He's simply asking you to begin, because even the smallest step forward matters. Here are 3 action steps you can take today to get the momentum you need to slay the day and have motivation to be productive with your tasks and present with your kids. Step number 1 is to start with one tiny task. Give yourself a 2-minute win. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something small. Pick the smallest possible task. Put 5 dishes in the dishwasher. Throw away trash on the counter. Start a load of laundry. Set a 2-minute timer if you need to. That's it. Because the goal is not productivity. The goal is activation. When you activate your brain by completing one tiny task, it releases dopamine, that feel-good signal that tells your brain, "Good job, keep going." And once you start, you'll feel it, that tiny shift. And that's where you need to build momentum. Stack 2 to 3 small wins together. Set your timer for another 2 minutes and ask yourself, what's one more small thing I can do? You're not trying to do everything. You're trying to do one more thing. Once you've knocked it out, stack one more 2-minute task on after that. This creates a chain reaction where you complete a task, your brain gets a dopamine hit as a reward, and your body gets a boost of energy. Each time you repeat this, you get more and more positive reinforcement and more energy. So it looks like this: task, reward, energy. Task, reward, energy. The faster you complete the task, the faster you boost your energy. And before you know it, you've done more than you thought you could. Not because you forced it, but because you built a habit of momentum. Now, step 3 is the part most moms miss. Use momentum to create space for connection. Momentum isn't just for getting things done. It's what frees you up to actually enjoy motherhood. After you've built a little momentum, pause. Look at your kids. Sit with them. Play for a minute. Laugh. Be present. Because now you're not carrying the heavy cloud of, "I should be doing something." You've already done something. And that creates space for joy. When you build momentum, your mind is lighter, the pressure is lower, and you feel more present. That's what opens you up to sit with your kids, to play, laugh, and enjoy them. Your momentum creates space for you to slow down and soak in the moments with your kids, or grab a little quiet time for yourself. St. Francis de Sales said, "Great opportunities to serve God come seldom, but little ones surround us daily." Those little things you do every day, mama, they matter. Starting the laundry, making breakfast, cleaning a small space, showing up again. These aren't small in God's eyes. They are your daily faithfulness, your ways of serving God and the children He called you to raise. God doesn't want you burdened down with pressure to do it all. He's created a system that works with your energy, not against it. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 12 says, "When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. And if you run, you will not stumble." Mama, let your steps move you forward, and pretty soon you'll find yourself running. Remember, a body in motion stays in motion. Once you start moving, your energy increases, tasks feel easier, and your brain feels clearer. The habit of momentum carries you. So if today feels heavy, if everything feels like too much, remember this. You don't need motivation to start. You just need one small win, because momentum will meet you there. And little by little, you'll start to feel like yourself again. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Conquer Mom Stress. If today's conversation encouraged you, hit follow and leave a review. That lets me know that these episodes are hitting the topics you need. And while you're there, share this podcast with another mom who might need to hear it. Remember, this is your place to pause, reset, and start conquering mom stress, one small step at a time. Motherhood isn't meant to drain the life out of you. It's meant to be lived with joy, even on the messy days. And together, we're going to find that joy again.